Definition. First, the definition. So, systematic management. So, the systematic management in public program and policies, and it is a art and also a science, and effective execution for government function and betterment of society, and administrative service level of government. So, non-profit, local, state, and federal government, and management. So oversight of bodies utilizing political science, manage public resource, achieve objective and structural approach, and is planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. Then the significance of public administration in developed society. So in developed society, it is as a regulatory function, welfare service, public order, community development, crisis management, backbone of society, essential service delivery. In developing society, the meeting expectation, socio-economic development, traditional function, cultivating nationhood, bolstering democratic institution, managing scarce resource, bridging a citizen government, shaping resilient communities, and new economic policy and technology. In the evolution as discipline, so formally started in 1887 by Woodrow Wilson essay, and public administration dichotomy 1887 to 1926, separation emphasis, policy versus implementation. Key figures are Frank Goodnow and Leonard White, LD White. Then principle of administration 1927 to 1937. So scientific principle focus, efficiency enhancement, influence by F.W. Taylor, scientific management, and key figure are W.F. Wolby, Henry Fewell, Luther Gulick, and Leonard Ulrich. So Taylor, W.F. Wolby, Henry Fewell, and Gulick and Ulrich. Then the postcard emergence by Gulick. Then year out challenge 1938 to 1947. So questioning dichotomy and universality, and human relation is cool. So the human behavior importance, social factor, and key figure are Chester Bernard, Alton Mayo in Hawthorne study, and F.J. Roethlisberger. So Chester Bernard and Alton Mayo are key figure. Then the Herbert Simon is also critic of this, and crisis of identity 1948 to 1970. So crisis of identity, so decline of universal principle, integration with the political science, and key figure are Robert Dahl and Fredericks, and comparative and development and meditation emergence. Then the public policy perspective 1971 onward, new public administration from 1917 to 1990. So social, political, and economic force emphasis, new public administration NPA. So responsive advocacy and citizen centric governance. Then the recent trends, so globalization impact and IT impact. Then comes the approach to study, so the managerial approach. So in managerial, so public private parallels, and prioritizing efficiency include traditional bureaucracy and include new public management. Then political approach, so unique aspect, emphasis, representative focus, and accountability for this. Then the legal approach, so legal framework importance, constitution and regulation, rule of law, and citizen right. Historic approach, understanding present via past. Philosophical approach, underlying rationale for behavior. And system approach, administration as an interconnected part. And behavioral approach, individual group psychology lens, individual and group psychology lens by behavioral approach. And comparative public administration, so study across country. And public analysis approach, so policy processes and outcome approach. The second topic, so concept of power, authority, legitimacy, responsibility, and dedication. So power, what is power? So capacity to influence other by action, belief, and conduct, means not only force, also institute and resource, and central to policy understanding, and visible or stable, and for collective benefit or individual gain, and concentrated and diffused. Then the authority, so authority is the legitimate form of power and justification for ruler. Max Weber type. So the power, no, the legitimate, no, authority. So authority is legitimate form of power, justification for ruler, and Max Weber type. So legal rational authority is Max Weber gives the legal rational authority and traditional authority and charismatic authority. So legal rational authority. So legal rational authority is formal rules and laws, and traditional authority, so established custom and traditions, and charismatic authority, so personal appeal of leaders. Then institutional and legal right in role and perform responsibilities, decision making power, issue command power. Legitimate acceptance and recognition of authority by governed population, influence following laws crucial for governing stability, and Weber's typology aligning with authority. So Weber typology: traditional legitimacy, charismatic legitimacy, and national legal legitimacy. So it is same as the charismatic authority. Then this authority of to account. So exercise of power and discretion, accountability to action, accountability for action and decision, and use of public resource and administrative responsibility. So in administrative responsibility, we have the constitutional rule, statutory rules, and administrative rule, and judicial rule and precedents. Then ethical governance aspect and ancillary is there. Then delegation, so delegation is superior confers authority and upon a subordinate for a specific task, involves the assigning duty, granting necessary authority, creating accountability obligations. Vital management tool: distribute workload, focus on a higher function, and empower subordinate. Ultimate responsibility remain with delegator. Then the this though then comes the uh, this thing. After that we have this. So So the typical functions are planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. So the planning where setting objective and determining action, organizing, developing structure and allocating resource, leading, influencing, motivated employee, and controlling. So monitoring performance and taking corrective actions. Then the POSCO framework. So POSCO framework in which planning, organizing, stopping, directing, coordinating, reporting, and budgeting. Then the corporate governance, public sector. So structural structures and processes and systems, successful operation and oversight, decision making and accountability, balancing stakeholder interest, maximum transparency, key principle. So key principle are accountability, transparency, fairness, responsibility, and risk management. In the corporate governance, public sector, key principles are accountability, transparency, fairness, responsibility, and risk management. Then the social responsibility, public sector, so applicable to all organizations, emphasis on values, so accountability, reliability, sustainability, integrity, and transparency, and encompasses the ethical business practice, promoting diversity and inclusion, community engagement, and environment awareness. Then the journalist versus specialist comparison. So journalist basis of entry, university degree, any subject, and expertise, board administration and understanding, task allocation, policy making, control, and higher management, transferability across department, hierarchy, often higher position, head of department, and perception, moral privilege position. Then the specialist, so specialist basis of entry, special knowledge and professional and technical qualification, expertise, deep technical and tech knowledge, task allocation, technical advice and position, transferability within department, hierarchy, separate hierarchies, perception and moral may feel neglected and inferior. Then the effective administration requirement, so recognizing the importance of both fostering collaboration and integrating the skills. Then the new dimension of public administration, NPM, public management and change management. So NPM and change management, NPM. So NPM is adopting private sector principle, enhancing efficiency and effectiveness, hands-on professional management and explicit performance and standard measures, shift to output control, decentralization. So moving from centralized framework, manager adaptability and autonomy. Then the promoting competition, internal and contract out, and the private sector management style. So short-term labor contract, corporate business plan, and performance agreement and mission statement. Then the cost reduction goal, doing more with less, and influenced by globalization, we will do evolution beyond NPM. So post NPM model, so new public governance, NPG, so collaborative network management and co-creation of value, public value. Then the change management in public sector, so implementing change policy, reform and digital, and minimizing disruption and structural approach. So strong leadership, teamwork across department and long-term planning, and driving impactful reform, maintaining service continuity, adapting the tech market change and unique challenges are bureaucratic complexity, political considerations, short leadership tenure, competing varieties, resource constraint, stakeholder resistance. Then the successful implementation, so align with the policy regulation, engage leaders, stakeholder early, build coalition of support, overcome bureaucracy communication, and address public concern by transparency and ensuring sustainability by training and support. Human central approach is also there, and achieving organization outcome for this change management is needed. Then the attitude and value of civil services, so ethics and integrity. So bedrock of civil services, honesty, transparency and moral principle, maintaining public trust, and acting in public interest. Integrity is the truthfulness, avoiding misconduct and accountability, and ethical concern are conflict of interest, corruption, lack of transparency and ethical dilemma. So impartiality and non-partisanship, so foundational value, fairly without bias and favoritism, neutral to political affiliation, impartiality, inequitable treatment, no prejudice. Non-partisanship means not engaging in political authority and activity, and ensuring just governance and promoting merit-based decision making, preventing political influence and corruption, strengthening public confidence. Then dedication to public service, so deep commitment to society driven by empathy, bridging inequality and injustice gaps, and prioritize public good, sense of duty integration, enhancing citizen welfare, ensuring motivation in efficiency and governance and continuous improvement. Relationship between journalist and specialist, so the distinct role, potential challenge, journalist role, broad oversight and coordination, especially role in-depth technical expertise, so issue, so the separate hierarchy, lack of contact, and envy and suspicion, so effective administration need integration is needed. Then the control over administration, so legislative control, elected representative oversee executive, means the law making process, budgetary control, audit function, cake and debate and discussion, and legislative committees like subordinate legislation, public account committee and estimate committee. Then the limitation of legislative control, the rigid party system, executive immunity in presidential system, and large legislative side, lack of technical expertise, post-mortem financial oversight, and emergency curtailment. Then the executive control, so the head of executive supervise official, means so the appoint and remove official, policy directive and executive order, direct supervision and resource allocation. Then the aim. So aim is the decisive coordinated action, improve accountability, strengthen leadership and enhance flexibility. Then the limitation. So the organization complexity, resistance to change, employee turnover, and executive time constraint, informal information flow issue, and lack of specialized expertise and risk of authoritarian. Then the judicial control, so court review legitimacy of issue action and safeguard citizen right, judicial review issue right. So issue right are habeas corpus, mandamus, statutory government and provision, and citizen resources limitation. So limitation, so varying law interpretation and delay in decision, dependence on administration for implementation, narrow jurisdiction of high courts, and lack of specialized expertise. Then the administration setup and culture in Rajasthan. So administration setup, we have a parliamentary system mirroring national structure, and governor, so constitutional head appointed by president for 5 year, act on advice of council of minister. Then the chief minister, so appointment by governor, head of state government and real executive authority, leads to council of minister. Then the Council of Ministers collectively responsible to assembly and aid and advice by government. Unicameral legislation, essentially Vidhan Sabha and administrative divisions, so 7 divisions, and district, subdivision, tehsil and village level. And then administrative culture, so the influence by princely state history, diverse social fabric, various custom and culture and language, traditional of respect for guests, Atithi Devo Bhav, traditional rural lifestyle, and embracing model reforms. So the Panchayati Raj decentralization and citizen charter service delivery, and focus on essential amenity and support. Key administrative roles, so governor. So governor is constitutional head, executive power in them, and appoints them and minister. Legislative function, summoning, proroguing and assenting bill. And chief minister, head of government, lead council of minister, policy formulation, department coordination, and overall administration. Then the council of ministers, so cabinet minister, minister of state, deputy minister, and aid governor, and collectively responsible. Then the state secretary, so principal executive instrument, assist minister, policy making, drafting legislation, overseeing machinery, chief secretary as a head and advisor. Then the directorate, so executive agency, outside secretary, implementing policy, head of department, director and commissioner, and often specialist. Chief secretary, so the administration head of secretariat, principal advisor to chief minister. Then the district administration in Rajasthan, so district as primary unit, district collector, district magistrate, so head of district, usually IS officer, overall administration, maintaining law and order, managing revenue, overseeing development program, and coordinating role. Then the superintendent of police, SP, so head district police force, usually IPS officer, maintaining law and order, preventing, detecting crime, and police administration work with district collector and magistrate. Then the subdivision administration, so below district level, SDO, so head subdivision, revenue and general administration, report to district collector. Then the tehsil administration, so it's smallest significant unit, and tehsildar, so tehsildar is head tehsil, general administration, treasury function, land revenue collection, and maintaining land record, and nab tehsildar in larger tehsil. Then the development administration, we have the specialized field, so focus on guiding organization, achieving progressive objective, political, economic, and social, and especially in developing nation. Then dynamic and action oriented and goal oriented, striving for change, growth, and process. And scope of this development administration is administrating development program, developing administrative capabilities, accelerating national development, wide spectrum of program. So in industrial infrastructure, agriculture, health, education, communication, social service, and social reconstruction. Then enhancing government capability and characteristic of development administration, so change oriented, result oriented, client oriented, citizen participate, emphasis, commitment to public demand, innovation, concern, coordinated effectiveness, and aiming for effective administration. Then the Rajasthan administrative and regulatory bodies, so state human right commission, RHRC, so autonomous statutory body and established in March 2000 to inquire human right violation composition. So chairman, retired chief justice of High Court, and two members, judge and expert, appointed by government when committee recommendation, and 10 or 3 year or 17 year, which is even earlier. So primary function. So the inquiry into violation and negligence and intervene the court proceeding, visit jail, review, safeguard, promote literacy. So key power are civil court power, investigation, recommendation, compensation, and prosecution. Then the recommendation not binding. Then states election commission, so autonomous statutory body and constitutional constitute July 2019. Constitutional autonomous statutory body constitute July 1994, ensure free and fair local body election and headed by state election commissioner. So appointed by governor and remover like SC judge and autonomy. Then the tenure, so 5 year to 65, 5 year or 65 year. Primary functions are the release election schedule, issue guidelines, conduct local body election, update electoral roll, declare result, order repulse, constitutional delimitation. Then independent of election commission of India. Then the Lokayukt. So Lokayukt is the state parliamentary ombudsman, established 1973, investigate corruption and maladministration against minister, legislator, and public servant, address public grievance and political, appointed by governor, consulted with CM, leader of opposition, and CSC, and eligibility SC judge or equivalent, Chief Justice of High Court, and tenure 5 year or 65 year. Keep power. So initial investigation, suo motu, and prostitution, summon official, demand record, and inquire corruption and abuse of power. Then the role of primary, recommendatory, and submit annual report to governor, and cannot prosecute, influence recommendation, and official outside jurisdiction. So chief minister, high court judge, and RPC chairman and member. Then the Rajasthan Public Service Commission, so established 1949, select applicant for state jobs based on merit and reservation rules. Composition, chairperson for plus 7 member, and appointed by chief governor, chief minister advice. Half members from public service, more than 10 years, and 10 or 6 year or 62 years. And primary functions are the conduct examination, advise government, recruitment, promotion, transfer, and disciplinary actions, and manage DPCs, and submit annual report to governor. Then the independence removal by presidents on special grounds. Rajasthan Guarantee or Delivery of Public Service Act 2020 to 2011. So provide the public service within time limit by public authorities. Initial 108 service in 15 departments, expanded 153 service in 18 department, and now expanding, and mandate specific time frame and cash penalty for failure and delay, and grievance redressal mechanism, and appeals to higher authority, and ARD as nodal department. Then the Rajasthan Right to Hearing Act 2012, so right to have complaint heard, dispose within time limit, and complaint Public Service Guarantee Act, and ensure citizen opportunity to be heard, and key provision are unique registration number of complaint, mandatory hearing by PHO, primary hearing officer in 15 days, and appellate authority at 2 level, and penalties for PHO failure to hear, and no fees of complaint and appeal. So this is the whole syllabus in a brief for this your RS Man's public administration. Then the conclusion. So the complex and modern approaches and structure for policy and delivery, emphasis on ethical value, accountability, and citizen right. Evidence in bodies and legislation, and reflect commitment